Welcome to my first screencast. This is going to be all about the iPad and how you can take care of it. The first thing that I'd like you to notice is my App Store has a 32 by it. I'm going to click on that. In your App Store you have updates. If you would like to just update your own apps, then you are more than welcome to do that, and it will save time when I am updating yours and I can get your iPad back to you faster. The next thing I'm going to show you is to go into Settings. And in Settings, we're going to go to General. In General, there is the Software Update, which you can click on, and especially when you have a little number 1, it will help you get that updated, which also gets your iPad back to you faster. The next thing we're going to look at is Mail, Contacts, and Calendars. In this, if you set up your email address here, then you can email yourself from the computer or from the iPad to your computer. I would suggest maybe having calendars and notes marked off so that students don't get into those things, but do note that when students are using the iPad, your email address is open and available to that. The next thing we'll look at is the iTunes and App Store. Please note that I have automatic downloads off on all of those. This West Lawn Elementary GIPS.org is an Apple ID for all 50 iPads that we have at school. So please make sure that you're not treating it like your own and that you are not making other people have things onto their iPad they may not want. And please note that they do have Facebook and Twitter, but we will not be using either of those apps with students or anything like that. iBooks, make sure that it has some settings that you would like on there. Photos and camera, please make sure your photo stream is off so that we're not sharing those photos. The next part of settings that you will see will be this on the side where it has a picture of a few apps. A few of those apps, like Brain Pop, it has a where you can restore the subscription. That means that you don't have to log into it. Other ones, like Endless ABC, just have a version number. If you are needing to change something on an app, check and see if it has a setting that you can go into. The best setting and the one that you may want to use the most will be General. And here is where you can lock a student into an app. This is in Accessibility. And if you scroll down to Guided Access, you can turn it on and then set a passcode. I have set mine to 1234. When you leave here and go into an app, if you triple click 123, then it will say that guided access is started. If you don't want a student to be able to click on something, you can just circle it, and then that becomes something that they are unable to click on. Notice I can turn touch on, do some different settings, and then click start. Then I hand the iPad to a student. The student can then use the iPad app as I would like them to. And when I touch onto the yellow and red, or the yellow and white, I cannot use those because I have marked those as not being able to be touched. When the student is done, they can triple click, and then it will pop up that they need to enter the passcode, which then they should hand it back to you so that you can get them out of the app, and then you may end guided access. The next thing we're going to do is look at a few iPad apps and kind of how we can remember the blooms and make sure that the activities we're having students use on the iPad is going to be higher thinking. So we do have some apps for remembering, such as Brain Pop Junior. Some understanding things might be some fluency things that students could do. There's a few books where students can read into the app and listen to their fluency. The ones I'm going to be focusing on are these 4 higher ones. Applying, and I'll go ahead and show you a few apps that kind of show applying, analyzing, evaluation, and then finally creation. Applying can be something like a screencast like what I'm doing, where they take a video of something that they're doing on the computer, or this app right here that is called EduCreations. In EduCreations, students can use the tools up here to explain something that they have learned, such as 1 plus 1 equals 2. When students do that in the app, they can record themselves. 1 plus 1 equals 2. I know that because when I draw the picture, 1 and 1 together, they equal 2. When you save it, you can call it whatever you want. And just make it private. And you don't even have to log in. Then you can see what that looks like. I know that because when I draw the picture, 1 and 1 together, they equal 2. The next app we're going to look at is Sketch, and that would be a good one for analyzing. In Sketch, you can use a photo. So what I'm going to do is choose a photo that I already have. So maybe I want to choose this one that I have in there, and then you can do some annotating right onto the picture. So maybe I want to draw what I see with the swirls. Or I might want to highlight some things that I have on there. I can type or draw an arrow. So that you can kind of see some different things that you can do with that. You can obviously change colors and things like that, but definitely an app to play around with and see what you can have kids do with it. An app for lower grades or upper grades that you might want to try would be Telegami. When you go into it, you can just go ahead and create. Then you get to change a little bit about your character. You can make their facial expression change to match something maybe that the student will be talking about. What I like about it is you can kind of change some different things of what your character is wearing, and you can even change your background to a photo that you have in your library. But I'm going to have her go ahead and talk.
Hi, my name is Sarah.
With my voice. So maybe it might be something like this. I really like the book Wonder because So just a really great app for you to have students explain about something or just show their voice in a different way. One for creating might be one like Animoto. In this one, I have one that I've kind of already started. I've just chosen some pictures from my library that I wanted to use and a style. And then you can kind of see I've taken the pictures and you can annotate the pictures and show different steps to something. Also, I have an outro that I can do. And then here's a preview. So that was just something that I did with kids at Winter Intersession that you can have students create. One final thing that you can do to keep the battery life up on your iPad would be to double click the home window, and then it will show all the apps that you have recently opened. Here's a great way for you to see what kids have been going into, but also if you just hold it down and wiggle it, then you can delete all the apps that you have running and it won't waste your battery. So thanks for using your iPad with your kids. I would suggest putting it in or starting it with kids during guided reading and making sure that you are able to talk with kids and teach them how you want them to use the apps. But then you can go ahead and have them start using them for remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Thanks!